Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are focusing in and we are zooming in on a concept that I am calling the virtual Hoover. The virtual or really hover in the mind that tends to occur when you are battling separation, no contact, or you're really straddling the fence on whether to stay with a narcissist or really you're trying to heal through the various stages and processes that are required to heal after narcissistic abuse. Abuse by someone who has emotionally manipulated you, tormented you, been a very sort of a force of good and then a force for evil, a force for inspiration to you, but then a deleterious or negative or toxic force. Someone who you originally had idealized or over-idealized, and really you kind of went along with the game, went along with the show, went along with the sham, went along with the Pied Piper, so to speak, and yet you found that you have now been misled or really kind of fed a lot of lies or felt a lot of negative messages or endured a lot of criticism and really felt to basically the mold for your relationship with them was meant to feel less than, insubordinate to, inferior to them, and it's created a grave loss or a lot of self-doubt, and it's created kind of a negative cycle or a negative circuit within your mind that's playing like a movie reel where you tend to flash back, you tend to go back over and over in the relationship. You're basically brushing your teeth and you're thinking about this person. You're driving in your car. You're at work. You're eating your meal and you're still thinking about the scars. You're thinking about the things that were said. You're thinking about the negative ways that you felt. So you're basically replaying it over and over and over in your mind. Now, this is a function of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind will register and remember every event and experience that you've ever had. This is the huge library of information that is stored in the subconscious, in the limbic brain, in the cerebellum, basically in the brainstem as well. And this is the seat of a lot of the unconscious or subconscious processes that occur. So again, it's like an automatic pilot. It helps to control the 100 billions of cells. It helps the breathing. It keeps the heart going. It keeps you moving. It keeps you seeing. It keeps you hearing. And oftentimes so much of what we receive is very unconscious. So we don't really have a broad consciousness, or so much is really buried or muddled underneath in the subconscious. So this tends to replay in like a program, like an automatic program on a computer. It tends to just keep going, and then you become basically having memorized and maintaining this feeling, this record, this program of negative memories, negative experiences, negative feelings, negative thoughts, negative statements, negative behaviors. These continue to replay like an automatic program in your subconscious mind. And really part of the goal, or much of the goal of healing, is becoming aware of this and cleaning that out, reformatting, re-imaging the program. And the messages that were installed, input into the subconscious, are oftentimes an erroneous or inaccurate program, or not a program that is in your best interest. In other words, the results that you're seeing in your life are not where you want to be. In other words, the program that you have installed has produced what you are seeing and experiencing and feeling at this very moment. And so basically the program is allowing itself to run itself. And if you are unhappy, if you are suffering, if you are still, in a relationship with this person or trying to break through, or really decide whether it's in your best interest to stay, and you're kind of keeping them in what I'm calling a virtual hover situation where you're feeling guilty for letting go, feeling like you're still part of that victim mentality, you're still part of the I am only a support person of versus, I am a leader, I am magnificent, I am lovable, I am autonomous, I am independent, and I deserve to be loved, and I deserve to be free, and I deserve to be happy, and I deserve to be joyful and experience a lot more in my life than what I have been experiencing, either independently or in a relationship or as a family or a job. Realize that this then, if you are still feeling these negative feelings, these negative thoughts, these negative virtual hover attempts, which are calling you back, calling you back, calling you back into the past, you are permitting yourself to be virtually hoovered by this individual, by this toxic individual, who we might call a narcissist, a borderline, a psychopath, something of that nature. So if you are permitting yourself this virtual hoover, you need to realize that oftentimes your thought patterns, your unconscious thought patterns, emotions, and behaviors are contributing to where you are at in the present moment. And it's very difficult to accept this. It's very difficult to become aware of this, because oftentimes people want to push down and repress, basically suppress their emotions. They want to, basically, they don't want to deal with it. They're not used to. They're habitually stuck in that negative mindset. They're used to, feeling in relationships with these negative people. They're used to attracting the same people because they're thinking the same thoughts, behaving the same way, going the same places, etc. So they're not really taking charge or making changes in your life. So, people say, this person has control over me. This person has ruined my life. I can't go anywhere in my life. You're basically giving yourself an ultimatum that you can never, that you can't ever change. And why would you limit yourself? Why would you give yourself a dead end in life when that has nothing to do with really reality or probably your life purpose? So oftentimes there is this virtual hoover where your mind is replaying this. So I encourage you, and this is a concept that I'm developing and I want to discuss here, and I think that this is very important, and this is along the line of the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, Break It, the Habit of Being Yourself. He has 3 wonderful books, The Placebo Effect, and he's a neuroscientist, and he really focuses on neuroplasticity, which is the ability of the mind to be able to be flexible and change itself. As we've discussed in previous videos, how oftentimes the messages that have been told to us by hurtful violators and perpetrators, they tend to keep a neural highway, if you will, or a different program of thoughts and emotions, which keep us down, which keep us stuck, and which is what we're calling wounded, feeling like you're suffering at the hands of this and this memory. So we keep this virtual hover going in our mind versus I might go back. I mean, whether you consciously register it, if you're still thinking about them or still in touch with these scars and still in touch with that past, then it's connecting you to that hurt in the present moment. So part of really getting over and overcoming that virtual hover and really healing and healing really very thoroughly is really becoming pure consciousness, which is just becoming into a better space where you're letting go of your analytical mind, the logic mind that's always trying to assess, judge, compartmentalize it, and determine it, and just, allow that to, supersede anything. Let that go. As I talk about the unplugging, so unplugging literally from the energy of the narcissist, and oftentimes the narcissistic organizations, economies, constructs, things that have, put this relationship into place for you. And really become into a place where you can open your mind and really realize that oftentimes this is negative programming and it's not in your best interest. And it's like being at the computer and saying, I want to see something different, or I want to go someplace else, or I want to feel something different. You have to use the affirmations and then that feeling and really kind of to that consciousness, which is the awareness of how you're feeling. So it's people call it having an open mind, an open heart, coming into a different energetic space, having a breakthrough, having a shift of energy. When you become conscious, you become aware. And oftentimes people are attracting these relationships and they say, peace and harmony, why do I keep attracting the violators and perpetrators? How come my life isn't improving? How come I can't go anywhere in my life? It's because you're still allowing those habitual thoughts, feelings, and emotions to keep, keep churning in your life. So it's very important to come to a place of non-judgment and cease and let these go. So let go of the past hurts. Letting go means allowing yourself to become in a very relaxed state and to allow those thoughts to basically become less and less loud, less pronounced, and really as less of a trigger for you in your life. And so if you keep images around of this person, if you keep articles of clothing, items of theirs around, pictures, etc., texts, phone numbers, etc., you're constantly re-triggering your mind to that. You're constantly re-injuring yourself. It's like having a disease that you have created. Let's say, for example, smoking, and you have lung cancer, and you continue to pick up the cigarette, and you're wondering why you're not getting healthy. You're wondering why the medicine isn't working, because you keep re-aggravating, you keep feeding the disease, you keep feeding that negative energy, and it's affecting you on a subconscious level. The human mind is a vast, infinite array of information, capabilities, and potential. And when we talk about quantum healing, it's really coming into that space of openness and conscious awareness, and being able to then have an image of your future and a feeling of your future, which you meditate on and you resonate on, and you keep primed in your environment through pictures, positive statements, and affirmations, which bring it into being. But oftentimes it's just calling it into mind, and calling into mind that independence, that freedom, that joy, that happiness, and allowing your mind to kind of go there, if you will. Allowing your mind to really have the faith and the experience before and the gratitude before it occurs. And so I know that this is a very new concept for a lot of people, but I think it's an important concept. And I know that this is, cutting edge, or they didn't teach you this in kindergarten, or this is too deep for me, peace and harmony. I just encourage you to maybe replay this again and again and realize that the virtual Hoover, hover, however you want to pronounce it, with the memories and the flashbacks and the hurt, and going around, with your head down and your shoulders slumped and feeling depressed and, sabotaging yourself. Oftentimes you are contributing to this karmic experience in your life because it's just affecting you subconsciously. It's just on autopilot. The program that was installed earlier is just playing. And basically you have to remove that program. You have to remove that hardware. And you do that really by getting into a very clear, calm space where you're not listening to a lot of noisy things. You're not seeing, you're maybe closing your eyes, you're resting and relaxing your body, and you're just allowing it all to unplug. And you're furthermore calling into mind your attention, your focus with basically what I'm calling a higher consciousness, or just connecting to your source, or connecting to your intuition, clearing your energy sources. They call it your chakras, that run all through the base of your spine, all the way up through your abdomen, your heart, your throat. You can research this on your own. It's not the topic of the video here to learn how to clear out your chakras, but if you are able to do this and really kind of come into this and realize that you are your own entity, that you have control, all your feelings, which have been made negative, are perpetuating these thoughts. So once you clear out those negative and say, enough is enough, I'm now coming into the present moment, and I'm now getting a vision of my life in more of a future vision of happiness, of joy. I see myself smiling, dancing, jumping, riding my bike, going fishing, building a house, buying a car, whatever it is that you want. And I talk about that in the recovery journal. You have to be clear about what you want. If you just, if you want to, sit on the dock of the bay, then that's what you truly want. And then start there and, make that happen. Bring out a picnic, bring out a blanket, go out and just take in the nature, learn about flowers, learn about different plants, or just go there to read, or just go there to fish, or just go there. But whatever it is, start taking new behaviors and new feelings into your life. Start incorporating those into your life. And oftentimes people prohibit themselves because it feels selfish, it feels wrong. I might not like it when I go there. Trust me, you don't have to control the outcome. You don't, acting on this and giving yourself a chance to have new positive feelings and experience new things is what your healing journey is going to be all about. And trust in yourself and belief in yourself, in allowing yourself to have that relaxed state of mind in a relaxed body, oftentimes is so very key. It sounds so very simple, but your body should be relaxed. And after my decades of study, this is what I can unequivocally tell you is where you need to be. A lot of people are too busy, too hectic. They're trying to multitask. This is the information age. And, people just get overwhelmed with so much. And so I would encourage you, if you're still in that, virtual hover, still with the memories, the negative thoughts, just the negative, program playing, realize that it's time to erase that totally. Let go of that totally and reprogram those feelings, those visions, and those behaviors for yourself in the future by calling that into mind, calling the feeling into your body as well, because the body is the subconscious mind, and give yourself a chance to feel happy. And give yourself a chance. And people say, I don't know how to feel happy. Then pay attention to what makes yourself happy, and then get a little notebook, and write it down. Get a book. What does this say? Follow your heart. I love these types of books. Follow your heart. Find what makes you happy. You'd be surprised. You say, I don't know who I am. It's because you don't know who you are yet. You might be a sculptor. You might be a painter. You might be a seamstress. You might be a fisherman. You might be a nature enthusiast. You might be a bird watcher. There's a lot of things that I did not know about myself, but I can tell you one thing, that, oftentimes the narcissist people in your life don't want to know you. They don't want to know what makes you tick. They don't want to know who you are. They want to project their needs onto you. And that's why you always hear about the person who became the doctor, the lawyer, the Indian chief, who didn't want to be that. And then they, turned around and they found that their skills and talents were someplace else, than where they were meant to, than where they were. And as I call that the experience of having your ladder up the wrong tree. You've got the wrong vantage point. You are not where you want to be. You're not gazing upon what you want to be gazing upon. So I feel it's very important. We are so very fortunate to have the resources and technology that we do today. Decades ago, we did not have mobile phones. We did not have access to this information. You'd have to look something up. You would drive your car. You wouldn't have a phone. You wouldn't be talking on the phone and texting while you're driving and, all this kind of stuff and watching videos while you're on the train. I mean, you had to look things up in the yellow pages, or, you had to walk down the street to ask a question. We are so very fortunate, and really I encourage you to maximize all the resources that are at your fingertips. And sometimes it's so overwhelming that people just don't even get started. They're like, it's just, I don't know where to start. Well, just start. Just begin. Begin with clearing your consciousness and saying, what, this is right. It's time for me to take, a stand for myself and stand in my values with love, trust, and faith, and really begin to just live those out and take action so that you can begin to have the emotions that will bring that and solidify that into your life. And then that will become more of a repetition, those new behaviors, those new experiences, which will be solidifying and will give you that security, the healing, and then the I am will become who you are. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.